Karibuni sana for today's edition of Cinema Corner. Today we are talking to Gloria. Gloria is an actress in many TV shows that atatuambia leo. She has also done theater. Kuna play tuliperform na Aminata. She was Mama Rosina. Apparently Andy alikuwa ameshika lines for the whole play. Everyone else was running to check the text. So yeah, it's another beautiful day for the Cinema Corner. We are talking to a voice artist. She tells me she's a mother, she is an artist, and Gloria, karibu sana. Yes, so tell us about yourself.
My name is GLORIA OWICHIRA, as you have heard. I am an artist, I am a mom, I am a wife. I am an artist summarizes what I am. I have done Antiboss and I have done a little bit of GLORIA. Yes.
Okay. So where did all this journey start? How did you choose film? Considering I think all of us come from a generation where parents didn't understand what film was and what was really interesting about it. So how did you end up in arts, let's say?
Okay. So I always wanted to be a doctor because I had that one was not from my parents. That one, I just wanted to be a doctor. Because I had watched a small interview when I was a baby and that lady seemed very compassionate towards children. So that's what I wanted to do. Until I went to watch the national drama festivals in Kakamega High. My mom was a teacher there, so I had access. And what I saw changed what I wanted to do. So that is the day that I decided I want to act. But my end goal was to act on that Kakamega High School stage. So I needed to be in a place where the road led to there. So my primary school didn't have drama, so that I shelved that dream. But I would do narratives and stuff like that. And then my high school had drama. Unfortunately, we never proceeded to the nationals.
Which high school was this?
My high school was Bunyore Girls High School. It was focused more on academics than co-curricular. So the less you went to national, the better for you, so that you come back and continue reading. So, but I still held on because I had also university. It was at that time it was colleges. Colleges go to National Drama Festival. But now, I don't want to end up in a college at that time. I want to end up in a university. Until our teachers came with the form for choosing the courses that you want to do and stuff. And then I saw Kenyatta University is offering theater, arts, and film technology. And I said, now, yes, God, you are directing my steps. This is where I want to go. But now I can't go home and say, now I've changed. Now I want to go to theater, arts, and film. So I just ticked it as my first option, then ticked law. Medicine I had given up because now I had started failing the sciences. I discovered I'm now good in arts in high school. Kina history, CRE, English, Kiswahili. So now I'd left medicine. So the other next best option was law. Because I also talk a lot. I thought at the time that's what you needed. And it's a qualification for law somehow. Yes, so I chose theater, arts, and film then. And then came to KU just like 4 or 5 months after my KCSE. I was those ones for SSP. And landed in KU. And that is where I now got introduced to the real world of film acting and in front of the camera. Even as I came to KU, I had never seen a camera with my naked eye. That was the first place that I saw. In KU is where I knew people edit these things. I didn't know that they're edited. And now I got to learn how to act on stage mostly. It was a theater, arts, and film course, but somehow theater thrived more in KU. And then I realized in my acting, I don't struggle to get lines. I just read lines and just get lines. In fact, I didn't know how someone stays with the script for the number of days and they don't have lines. So I knew this is something that I am good at. But there are things that I had not known at the time. The first thing was building the connections. You might have the talent, but you need so many other things to succeed as an actor. Over time, as people began to form themselves into groups and start doing things, I didn't have that. I solely relied on someone will just see me acting nicely and my dream would pick up from there. Going back to that time, I went for the auditions for the Drama Fest in KU. So I went, but I was still a first year, and that thing that I told you about the connections I didn't have. So I just relied on getting an opportunity to showcase what I can do. But I was put in, what do they call it? The second cast. In case someone falls sick or does not come or something happens. And I went for around, I think it was, I don't remember the period, but at some point, a girl with a specific role was not getting her lines. And since I was going, naturally I just absorbed those lines. I don't even think I had a script. I just absorbed those lines. And so one day the director was tired. Everyone was just annoyed with her. And I was helping her go through her lines. Just say this. And then I was told, Ebu, you come and say. I said, I was helping you, but
It is my turn.
This is my turn. So I went and did those lines, but I don't know what happened because I can't remember going for Drama Fest with KU. Something happened that year. But at the same time, I did not appreciate how they were, the style of acting I was being told to present. It was like I was being forced to do. To me at that time, it was just extraordinary work for nothing. I was using too much energy to speak. The character was not what I had in my mind. So I just left it. I dropped that. I didn't shelve it. I took it, threw away that dream of ever acting in drama festivals. I told myself, if I'm ever going to do this, it's going to be maybe in a directorial capacity or something else, but not acting this way. And so I left. And how I wanted to act was, I was introduced to it by a friend of mine. She's now a theater director, Wanjiku Mauganga. We called her Yvonne at the time.
Mm-hmm, yeah, Yvonne.
Yes.
She directs Too Early for Birds.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So Yvonne also had that, I can say, disdain towards how acting for the drama festivals was. We needed a more realistic kind of acting. And so that is what she started directing plays in KU. And that I liked. And we did a few plays with her. For our project, we actually staged a theater play at Phoenix. And I don't know, now that way of theater, Phoenix itself, Phoenix used to be the gateway to professional theater. But by the time we were old enough and ready, Phoenix was on its deathbed.
So this experience here, drama festival, haikuwa satisfactory. You didn't like the style. So where did you move next?
So I moved to the independent plays. Did a few of them in school. And while I was in school, was it while? Yeah, I had taken a short break to get my firstborn son at the time. So when I came back to school, Of course, the people I was with at the time had already moved on. Some were through with school. So I was just in school, going through the motions to finish school and then start hustling. So a former classmate of mine called me and told me that his friend, who was in KU but doing fine arts, we called her Millicent Wanjiru, Millie. She had gotten a PM sort of job in a new production by a new company called Moonbeam Production. So they had just begun Antiboss. So she was looking for extras. Oh, fine. Are you doing anything? No, I'm not doing anything. Where are you shooting from? South Sea. Okay. So I went. I had never been in a film set. We'll just call television film anyway. I didn't know where people start or what happens. But I was briefed that you're supposed to be a house girl who you're sent by your boss, and you divide the whatever you've been sent with the shopkeeper. So you take half at home and share the money. So okay, umetumwa na mdosi wako kilo moja ya sukari, lakini unaenda unaleta nusu, alafu ile pesa ya juu nagawana na shopkeeper. So that was the character I was told. So most extras, there's extra with lines and extra without lines. So extra without lines, you don't have lines in a script. You just told a scenario and you're supposed to deliver. So at the time I was told, now extra with lines you paid this, extra without lines you paid this. But I didn't understand that extra with lines meant scripted lines. So in my head I had extra with lines, it means talking, like don't keep quiet in the scene. So when my turn came to act, the person that I pictured is an arrogant house girl. What? So I just got into the role and chewed my heart off. That's what I just imagined that a house girl is going to do. So as I was chewing, there's a lady who came on set. And she's looking at the script and looking at me, looking at the script and looking at me. In my head, I'm like, hey, Connie, who can this be? So now when take what came, I acted my heart out. I just wanted to act like it had been a while, some time. So later, the PM came and told me that is the producer, and she's asking you if you are willing to be a regular extra. I said, fine. I took up the offer. So I would come, be an extra, go home, get paid. At the time I was done with school, so now I am trying to prove to my parents that this was the right decision. But I'm having fun. I'm feeling so content going on set. It gives life and learning. I think the most interesting bit was learning how a set operates, how people achieve certain shots, how characters are born, and meeting people that I was just seeing. There's a moment I froze. I was so scared. I was going in a scene with Mark Bull and Eve D'Souza. These are big names, and I am just an extra. You're so afraid of messing up. One, because it is Eve D'Souza. Two, she is your boss. But anyway, we did the role and finished. And so as the seasons grew, my responsibilities as a character also grew. So by the time we were coming to a close, which we have, Antiboss is now wrapped, I was, what do we call it? A supporting character.
You got to Antiboss, and this was your first opportunity in a TV program. And now you're on TV. Sasa unaonekana kwa TV. Like, what was your first feeling seeing yourself on TV?
Wow, it was surreal. I felt nice. You feel good. You feel like you're validated finally for the decision that you made. Being on TV is not was not such a goal for me. So that it was just a bonus that came with finally being able to pursue what I love as a career. That was my biggest yes. Whatever it was going to be shown, if it was YouTube or Instagram, that was not so important for me. But later on, you come to learn, in as much as it's not important for you, it's important for certain people around you, or even people you do not know, people in your circle, maybe your Facebook or just walking around. Suddenly, someone feels there's a certain feeling they get when they meet you. There's just some of them, it's you what do you do on TV? How can you behave like that? Some of them is, wow, I've met you, oh my God. They don't believe that you are a real human being walking on the same earth that you walk. So for me, that part was the strange part. So how is somebody supposed to handle themselves? What is this? But that was quickly handled by a friend of mine on set. She's called Ruth. She's a makeup artist. As I joined Antiboss, she was also joining in the industry of makeup at the time. So we quickly became friends. And she always told me repeatedly, don't treat your acting as something so special just because you appear on TV. Treat it as a job. The only privilege your job has is that people get to watch you do it. So never forget that it's a job. Because once you forget, the people greeting you outside and the many questions, now you're on TV, starts getting into your head, and you start believing that you are above normal. It is just like an accountant going to work or a teacher going to work. Would they begin changing their lifestyle or changing their attitudes or changing how they are just because they are now doing their job? No. So don't allow the fact that you're on TV start changing how you live or your goals and your attitudes. And that was when I was still a recurring extra. So by the time I got to have more episodes on TV, and even the friends of your mom and everyone comes with that excitement. Uko TV. Nasema, yeah, but it's just a job I am doing. It is just a job I am doing. The other thing that kept me grounded was, what if you're written off the script now? What happens? So I never wanted being on TV to be so important to me. I wanted having a job to be the one thing that is important to me. And by the grace of God, I was able to work with Antiboss throughout, since season 3 to I think it is season 22, if I'm not wrong, thereabouts, until it ended. I was not written off the script. And one thing I think is because I was always punctual. And if you're not, try to communicate. Now, these are some of the things I learned. Never lose your professionalism. Don't compromise that. That is the one thing that will cost you your job, and they will even give an amateur your role from wherever you have reached. Hata kama umefika supporting ama umefika main, once you start compromising your professionalism, they will just let you go. So always maintain your professionalism. That means coming to set on time, respecting the roles on set. Everybody, makeup artist, chef, the different DOPs, the directors, always respect them. Your fellow actors, respect them. And be teachable. You know, you might go on set, like my role was defined. I was arrogant, I was chewing gum, I was this and that. And then you meet maybe a new director who tells you, in this role, I want you to tone down. You don't start arguing. You try to understand. If you feel like what you're being told is not the real thing, try to negotiate with that director and both of you reach at a place of understanding. Don't be so rigid because we don't know everything. You might have been the main character in a program for 10 years, but there's this new director who is telling you to tweak your character a little bit. You don't know everything. Just be teachable, be directable. That is what I can say also. The fourth one, don't let being on TV get into your head. Treat your acting as a job that you go, deliver, and come home. Take it with grace when people tell you they love you, they have seen you, and this and this and this. But when you get into your house or wherever you end up at the end of the day, there's that life of yours. Truthfully to yourself, you know, this is where I am. This is how I can live. This is me. My goal was to get here. I was this. I would like to get, maybe if I get into another program, I'd like to get here. If I get into another one, I'd like to get here. And that is, I think, how you're able to grow. For me, that has been my journey. I have only worked with Moonbeam. So I have shot Antiboss. I have shot an episode of GLORIA Uba. So what next from here? From here is in the independent projects. Independent projects in terms of my voiceover work. My voice is in several databases. One day they might call me. One day they may or they may not call me. But you cannot keep on waiting for somebody to call you. You are the one with the gift. Something that disturbed me for some time is for our program, we don't have the rights to our characters. The program does. And for some time, you see that would be disturbing because how the industry standards was you act in a program and then you use that character to propel yourself. But you see, here is a program which retains the character rights. So for a while, that used to be like, you know, me, I can't use, now I have to get another one maybe which, but you see, if you continue being in that place, you will stay in that place. So what happens? You come to realize the person who was bringing out the character was you. You are the one with the capacity. Yes, the scripts are being written by somebody, but you are the one with the gift. So what next? So next is a lot of independent projects. That is what I would like to get into. Should an opportunity present itself to go back on TV? Yes, I would, but as an actor. I did a short stint as crew, still with Moonbeam Productions, as a wardrobe at the time. But I came to realize that was work. Waking up in the morning, if that day I don't have a scene, and just going to do wardrobe was just work. Like, it was so heavy for me. As opposed to acting, whether I'm called to set at 4 a.m. and leave at 1, I am okay. Why? Because it's a passion that you love, you're good at it, and you enjoy doing it. So for people asking, you know, they see you and they're asking you, how can I get to where you are? I don't know. I do not know. I just tell you, look out for opportunities, and when you get it, one day you will get it. Make sure that chance you use it well. Don't let them not forget about you. Wherever you go, let them not forget about you. Perform well. But also don't wait to be called. It's a culture that is in our industry, that I will need to be called. I will need to act here. Then when I finish here, mostly for actors, it is I'll do theater, then I'll do TV, then I'll be a celeb, and then I'll do radio. That is normally the path. But I am on a space right now that I'm trying to challenge that. Whoever you're waiting to employ you started from somewhere. So that is the space I am in now. I just want to put my talent out there. I just want to do it. If I am employed, fine. But who says I will not be able also to be the one to employ somebody here and there, or just make it by just putting my talent out there? And we are living in a time that is very possible. So many people are coming up by refusing to follow the set standards of the industry and just putting their talent out there. And once you do it enough times and you become good enough, whoever you are waiting for to employ you and call you for this and that, they will start looking for you. People are always attracted to excellence. So that's the space I am in. And that is my story.